All right, let's get right into it. Kenya is heading towards a moment that's going to define its future for years, maybe even decades. We're talking, of course, about the 2027 election. But, this story is about way more than just who's running against who. It's about this massive, silent storm brewing just beneath the surface.
Yeah, 2027 might seem far away, but that simple fact is already kicking off a huge chain reaction. The political world is already buzzing, the machinery is warming up, and strategies are being drawn up for the big fight. But while everyone's got their eyes glued to that political prize, there's something else that's screaming for our attention. And that really gets to the heart of what we're breaking down today. Is the most important fight for Kenya's soul going to be won with political rallies and clever campaigns? Or is it going to be won by finally facing up to a really, really tough economic truth?
So, first things first, let's talk about what we all know, the political game. Because even though we're a few years out, believe me, the stage for 2027 is already being set, and all the key players are making their opening moves.
And it's already heating up fast. I mean, look around. Over here, you've got leaders already shifting their alliances, testing out new potential coalitions. Over there, you've got these critical legal battles raging over the future of the Electoral Commission, the IEBC. And simmering under all of that, social media has just exploded into this wild anything-goes battleground for influence, and unfortunately, a whole lot of misinformation.
Now, here's a number that changes everything. 8 million. That's the estimated number of young Kenyans who are going to be old enough to vote for the very first time in 2027. This isn't just another demographic, you guys. This is a potential political earthquake that could completely reshape the entire landscape.
So the big question is, what does this massive, game-changing group of voters actually want? Well, their demands are pretty clear, pretty direct. They want jobs, real opportunities. They want a break from this crushing cost of living. They care deeply about their freedom online. And maybe most importantly, they want a real seat at the table. They want to be included in the process, not just talked down to every 5 years. Okay, so we've set the political stage. Now, let's hit pause on all that noise and pivot. We're going to turn to the hard, cold numbers on the national balance sheet. This is Kenya's economic reality check, and honestly, it's something that just can't be ignored anymore. Just take a second to look at this number. Over 10 trillion Kenyan shillings. It's a figure so huge it's almost hard to wrap your head around. Think of it this way. That's about 3 times the government's entire yearly budget. And it's the staggering size of Kenya's public debt. Its weight is being felt in every single village, every single city. So what does that 10 trillion figure actually mean in the real world? Well, this chart puts it into perspective. The debt-to-GDP ratio is sitting at around 68%. That means for every 100 shillings of value the entire country produces in a year, we owe about 68 shillings. Now, the government has a target to get that number down, but the road to get there is going to be incredibly steep. And this is where it gets real. This is the human cost. This isn't just some abstract number for economists to argue about. It means the price of food, fuel, and electricity keeps going up. It means projects in your local county get delayed. It means hospitals don't have enough staff, and school bursaries for kids are cut. It means that small, family-run businesses are getting squeezed by sky-high interest rates. This is what it feels like on the ground. And this quote just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? Politics and the economy aren't two separate things. They are completely, totally intertwined. Every single political choice being made in the run-up to 2027 is going to have a direct, long-lasting effect on the economy that all of us have to live in. Which, of course, brings us to the main event, the collision course. This is that moment where the grand, soaring promises of a political campaign slam headfirst into the cold, hard brick wall of fiscal reality. And this slide lays out that great divide perfectly. On one side, you have all the things we hear on the campaign trail, right? New roads, more money for schools, youth employment programs. But then you look at the other side, the reality. A jaw-dropping 1.85 trillion shillings is needed just to pay the interest on the debt we already have. On top of that, you have strict rules from lenders like the IMF. So every single one of those promises has to be measured against these massive, unmovable constraints. So when we use this term, fiscal reality, this is exactly what we're talking about. And it's not a political opinion. It's just simple, hard math. It's the absolute limit on what a government can spend, based on the money it actually has coming in versus the mountains of money it already owes. So this collision, this tension, it leads Kenya to a fork in the road.
two very, very different futures. And really, that's what's at stake in 2027. It's about which of these two paths the nation decides to walk down.
So let's look at the best case scenario. Here, we see responsible leadership step up. The focus shifts to smartly managing our debt, to actually creating real jobs for those 8 million young people, and investing in industries that build wealth for the long term. This path, it's all built on a solid foundation of transparency and just good, honest governance.
But there's another path, a much darker one. The worst case is we just keep borrowing more and more to pay for promises. That leads to even higher taxes that just choke the life out of the economy. Foreign investors might get spooked and pull out, and you create a real risk of public anger boiling over into unrest. I mean, the contrast between these two futures could not be more clear.
So you look at those two futures, and the question becomes, who decides? Well, the focus has to shift. It has to shift to the single most powerful force in the entire country, the citizens. Because the role they play in deciding this outcome is so much bigger than just marking a ballot.
So this is the power that every citizen holds. Number one, demand accountability. Don't just ask leaders what they're going to do, ask them how they're going to pay for it. Two, vote with your head. Base your choice on proven competence, not just flashy promises. Three, and this one is so important, reject the tribal politics that are always used to distract us from these core economic issues. And finally, make economic competence a top priority. And this quote, wow, it really says it all, doesn't it? The future of the nation is a shared burden, a shared responsibility. It's bigger than any one party or any single election. The choice of which path we take belongs to the people, but so do all the consequences that come with that choice. So we end right back where we started, with one fundamental question. Is 2027 going to be just another scramble for political power, or will it be a conscious, deliberate choice for a stable, prosperous future? That is the decision Kenya is facing.